How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review, and today we're going to be doing a milk stout. I've never reviewed a milk stout before, but this milk stout's a little bit different. It is a collaboration between Stone and a home brewer by the name of Chris Banker. So yeah, it is the Xocoveza Mocha Stout, like I said, which is a milk stout. Super excited to try it, as I am all the new beers that I get my hands on. But I'm really interested to see how this comes out because Stone, for me, typically they overhop almost everything they do. Even beers that typically shouldn't be hoppy seem to be hoppy from them. And in my eyes, a milk stout should have zero hops going on. So really excited to see if this is something a bit different. So yeah, as far as the bottle, it's really cool looking, but I'll go over what's on it first. It's a Stone 2014 collaboration. Chris Banker, Stone-Insurgente. It is Xocoveza Mocha Stout, pronounced Xocoveza. Ale brewed with cocoa, coffee, peppers, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg. It's a lot of stuff going on there. And 8.1% alcohol. Nice, especially for a milk stout. And on the back here, nice story. Let's see, same thing as on the front, Chris Banker, Stone-Insurgente, Xocoveza Mocha Stout. It says, the impact of home brewers on the American craft beer industry has been immense. The comfort level and lack of inhibitors provided by a domestic brewing environment fosters a near limitless brand of experimentation, allowing home brewers to push the beer envelope to its breaking point. Many of the professional brewers, or professionals brewing in the world's best recipes, from West Coast IPAs to imperial stouts and even sours, began as homespun standouts. So spectacular, they had to be unleashed in the world in order to improve it. With this in mind, each year we hold American Home Brewers Association sanctioned home brewing competition, the champion in which get his or her recipe brewed and distributed nationwide by Stone. This year's winner, Chris Banker, helped keep us grounded to our home brewing roots by introducing flavors consistent with our regional palate. His chocolate, cinnamon, nutmeg, chili pepper, and coffee-infused milk stout was built to mimic the flavors of Mexican hot chocolate, a beloved specialty from the neighbors to the south. As our collaborators from Baja California, Cerveceria Insurgente will attest. Layered with tiered of earthiness, spice, and roast, this creamy, semi-sweet blue ribbon beer confirms the spirit of the American home brewer is not only alive and kicking, but thriving at an all-time high. A couple quotes from a couple people. We have from Chris Banker, the collaborator for this. It's been exciting to work with Stone and Cerveceria Insurgente, along with Southern California artisans Mostra Coffee and Xocoveza, to bring this beer beyond my garage to a large-scale production. Ivan Morales, co-founder of Cerveceria Insurgente. A beer like this does a great job of showcasing some traditional Mexican flavors. We're very excited to have collaborated on it. And Mitch Steele, brewmaster at Stone. This beer was hands down the winner for its uniquely cross-cut cultural flavors, even though Stone Coffee Milk Stout was set to come out near the same time. We just had to explore this one on a grand scale. So, yeah. Other than that, regular government stuff, drink fresh, yada, yada, yada. But, yeah, labelized was really cool. Screen printed. Probably one of my, maybe one of my favorite, if not favorite, Stone labels. So, yeah, it's pretty badass. So, yeah. Super excited to dive into it. It's definitely, it says drink fresh. It's about as fresh as could be for this area as far as distribution. It was bottled about a month ago. Just a hair of a month ago, so it's about as fresh as we're going to get it. So hopefully she's beautiful. Okay. Let's see. You can smell a bit of chocolate from here. Super, super, super big head. Nice, dark coffee colored head. Seems to be receding decently. Nice bubbles. bubbles everywhere. Nice creamy top to it. And color-wise, it's dark, but it's not like the super duper, super thick darkness you'd expect. Like just the barest amount of light gets through it when I hold it right up to a light. That's what I'm doing like this, and you probably can't see what I'm doing. But it's so minimal, but it looks quite dense. Looks very, very fluffy, very creamy. And couldn't tell you if there's anything else going on there because of how dark it is. But yeah, so far so good. So let's see. I can smell just the chocolate, the cocoa, the mocha from here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it smells like cocoa. It smells like cocoa powder. And you definitely smell a bit of the chilies in there too. I'm expecting a little bit of spice with this sucker. A little bit of the coffee, but those chilies, those peppers. Not a ton of nutmeg or cinnamon, but you get the peppers, you get that little bit of coffee and a nice cocoa. It's like cocoa powder. It's not even like chocolate. But yeah, even the peppers, the heat from the peppers, you can almost feel it in your nose when you're giving it a good huff. Oh yeah, this smells like it's gonna be fantastic. And you get that just malty goodness with it too. Oh, gonna dive right in. Cheers. It's nice. Really super duper mouthfeel. It's really fluffy, like crazy fluffy, which complements that cocoa that's in there too. It's like cocoa powder. It's not chocolate. It's not dark chocolate. It's like cocoa powder. It makes it, just brings that to the next level because that super creamy, utter fluffiness just reminds you of almost like a cocoa powder. So that in itself is just kind of badass. Really interesting. The thing about it is that those peppers that are in those chilies, that heat, it's there. It like heightens and then just stops and just fades slowly away. It lets you know it's there, but it doesn't continue on. Which, I mean, makes sense if you're going to talk about, if you're going to do something like a milk stout, something that's creamy with cocoa, and you're going to combine it with some kind of heat. It makes sense because, you know, if you eat a pepper and it's too hot, you drink milk or you drink something of that nature to help bring it down. So it's really interesting play. Definitely get the cinnamon in the mouth. I have a hard time detecting vanilla in almost anything. I'm sure it's there. Now when I say the word vanilla, I taste it, but even in foods, even vanilla ice cream, sometimes I'm just like, it just doesn't register to me. So that's a hard thing I usually have a hard time picking out. But the cinnamon's in there. It's that cocoa fluffiness with those chilies, those peppers. It's super interesting. It tastes like a spiced chocolate, hot chocolate, but cold. And with a little bit of booze. There's no booze in this there, but in a beer. It's really, really, really cool beer. It's super interesting. It's very sensory overloading in multiple directions. By far, but it's my favorite Stone beer that I've had out to shoot. It's not that I have a ton of Stone beer. I've said this in my previous reviews. Not that I avoid Stone, but I don't run to them because they tend to overhop almost everything they do. So most of the stuff I've had from Stone has been aged stuff that's been sitting around for 5, 6, 7 years to help that hop die down. So there are beers from Stone that I would rate higher than this, but only because they're aged. When you're talking about, in my head, for a month-old beer to be like this is just utterly fantastic. Yeah, that's great. Again, like I said, you get that super fluffy mouthfeel combined with that cocoa powder out of this world. You get that nice chili heat on it that's there and just, it makes you think like, here we go, and then it just stops and just slowly fades away. Cinnamon spades. And like I said, I'm nutmeg too, but I have a hard time with vanilla, so I don't get a ton of vanilla from it, but overall, fantastic beer. Rating wise, give it... This chilies are making me want to sneeze. Sorry. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Rating wise, 93. I like it that much. Some people view that. I have I'm really tough with my grading. A lot of people give beers 10s and they give them super high scores. I'm really tough, so my 93 is typically more like a 10 for most people, I guess you would say. I just can't give a beer a perfect 10 or a perfect 100 on my scale, so 93. Availability, it literally just came out in this area. I think it hit the shelves like not yesterday but the day before in this area. So I'm gonna have to give it. I'm gonna go not NA on availability because I want to see how it tracks once the initial rush goes away. And as far as value, I think I paid $10 or $11 for that. That's a good price for a beer of this quality. $10 or $11 is fantastic. So I would give it a 8 on a value scale. Yeah, 93 NA on 93 overall, NA on availability, and what did I say, 8 or 9 and high on the value scale. Just overall, really nice beer. It's really nice to see those flavors, and it's very delicate, and that's something I didn't say. It's a really delicate beer. You think with the darkness and it being a stout, it's going to be something thick and heavy. I love my heavy duty beers. I love thickness. I love, stuff with viscosity like engine oil. Do you know what I mean? But to see the flavors that come out of this with your dark malts, but it's super fluffy, super delicate. It's really, really a treat. So, I mean, if you like a beer, definitely give this a whirl. If you're into stouts, you owe it to yourself to give this a whirl. And if you like your chocolate beers, I mean, like I said, it's not punching your face with chocolate, but that cocoa-ness and the fluffiness just makes it next level for me. So hats off to Chris Banker, and hats off to Stone for giving them a whirl, and hats off to Insurgent for whatever they did. I'm sure they had a big hand in it also. So yeah, great beer. The Xocoveza Mocha Stout from Stone. If you like the beer, pick it up. So another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're way more active on Instagram, so if you're going to check us out anywhere, check us out there. You can check us out at all 3 of those places at Massive Beers. And yeah, another review down. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a great beer right now, and hopefully see you guys next time. Cheers.